Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Hardywood Bourbon Barrel GBS. This is a spiced milk stout aged in bourbon barrels, and it's coming in at 11.5% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to the End of the Day Beer Review. Today, going to be looking at something I found just yesterday. This is Hardywood Bourbon Barrel GBS. This is a spiced milk stout aged in bourbon barrels. And it is, let's see, alcohol is 11.5% ABV. And I got it at De Chico's, which is an Italian sort of specialty supermarket in Larchmont, New York. So about an hour and a half away from where I live. And this bottle came in at $4.99. Now, it says that this is a gingerbread stout, which I had never seen this beer before in my life. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting packaging. Really interesting bottle. Sort of reminds me of a Red Stripe. I thought I would give it a try. No other reason logically to try it. And then when I got home, I started to read it. It said that Hardywood Gingerbread Stout, described by Beer Advocate as a freagin Christmas in a bottle, is an Imperial milk stout. Well, you know what, then they give a bunch of tasting stuff. Let's not go into that, but this is brewed and bottled in Richmond, Virginia by Hardywood Park Craft Brewery. So let's crack this open and let's see what it's like. And I know it's a little after the holidays and all that, but you know, a good winter stout is always worthwhile. Okay, open the bottle. Nothing overwhelming filling the bar, which is sort of what I expected. All right. Actually, there's a little bit of water in the bottom of that glass. Let me dump it. And I am using a tulip glass again. All right, so this is pouring a dark brown. Not a tremendous amount of carbonation here. In fact, just a little bit of sort of a khaki colored carbonation. For 11.5%, it is clinging to the side of that glass, which is nice. Let's see what it smells like. Okay, I am getting gingerbread here. But I'm also getting some vanilla. Actually, a good amount of vanilla. Getting some of the bourbon, but it's not overwhelming. The gingerbread is the overwhelming aroma, followed by the vanilla, and then the bourbon. It does smell like something, yeah, it almost smells like a holiday candle. And I mean that in a positive way. There's a lot of complexity to this nose, and that's sort of nice. Yeah, this is really, really, it's almost an aroma I associate with walking down the aisles of Whole Foods. I don't know if that makes sense or if that might be a little bit too New York for people, but that's sort of what I'm getting here. All right, I'm sort of interested to see what this tastes like now, so let's give it a try. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so there's a lot of layers to this beer. It starts off with that gingerbread right on the front of your tongue. And it's bold. It's right there. It's out front. If you do not like gingerbread, this is not the beer for you. I do like gingerbread to an extent. This is probably testing that limit of where me and gingerbread are comfortable. Anything more than that would be too much. I want to say I'm also getting a hint of like orange in that gingerbread, but so midpoint, front of the tongue, a lot of that gingerbread flavor, a little bit, and it might just be my interpretation, a little bit of orange in there as well. Middle of the tongue, I'm getting a lot of vanilla. What I'm not getting a tremendous amount of, and I got it on the nose, I'm getting little to no oakiness, no bourbon barrel here at all. Now, realistically, I really bought this because I thought the bottle looked cool, which is a terrible thing to admit. But the second thing that made me want to purchase this was the fact that it was bourbon barrel aged, because I like bourbon barrel aged stouts. What I'm not getting is any of the bourbon barrel aging here. There's no bourbon flavor here at all. There's gingerbread, there's vanilla, there's maybe a hint of smoke on the back end. There's actually more of a ginger orange flavor, which is that gingerbread flavor on the front end and midpoint of the tongue, and there's much more vanilla, and basically no barrel here at all. If it did not say bourbon barrel aged on the side of this, I wouldn't have known that had been aged in a barrel. Quite frankly, this is really nice. Okay, so what does it say here? It says an Imperial milk stout brewed with vanilla beans, cinnamon, fresh Castlemont Farm baby ginger. Okay, that's there. Wildflower honey gingerbread stout is then matured in Virginia bourbon barrels, where it adapts an incredibly metal character with notes of oak and caramel, emerging 12 weeks later as a bourbon barrel GPS. Okay, you know what? There's the problem. It's aged in bourbon barrels 12 weeks, so 3 months. So it's, what is that, a quarter of the time that you get on the average bourbon barrel stout that we try here at Tony's Bar. And because of that, you just do not get that bourbon flavor. I mean, I think that if they aged this in those barrels for, let's say, a year, you'd get more of that smokiness. I almost wonder if they've done it and the bourbon barrel aging sort of blew out the gingerbread flavor and all of the other flavors that they're looking for here. I could see that being an issue with this, because it is really, really complex. You get that gingerbread, you get that ginger. I think you get a certain amount of, I'm getting a hint of orange. Maybe it's my palate interpreting the gingerbread a little bit as orange. You get the vanilla. And I have to say, mouthfeel wise, it coats the mouth. It's not super thick. It's not viscous, but it definitely does the job of delivering the flavor, and the flavor stays in your mouth. Like, it's been a couple of minutes since I've sipped this, and that ginger flavor is right there, and it's really enjoyable. The vanilla is there. The vanilla is really enjoyable, but the bourbon, I'm not getting it, not at all. Now, this bottle cost $4.99 plus tax and deposit. So figure, like, all told, this one bottle was probably about $6, maybe $6.50, you know, with tax and everything like that. Is it worth that? Yeah, if I was going to share this, especially around the holidays, I think this would be a really good, you know, sort of holiday beer. Would I purchase it again? Probably, but only for those specific circumstances. Like, I could see getting 2 of these and sharing them amongst a bunch of people, because it's an interesting flavor profile. Is this something I'm going to hunt up? Probably not. Is it something worth trying? Absolutely. If you see it, what it really makes me do is it makes me wonder about Hardywood Brewing. Hardywood Park Craft Brewing in Richmond, Virginia. It makes me want to actually check out other beers by this particular brand, because, you know, they've done a good job on the gingerbread aspect of this stout. It's enjoyable. 11.5% alcohol. I'm getting a little warming in the stomach, but there's no burn. You don't taste the alcohol. In fact, quite frankly, if you didn't know that this was a beer, if somebody gave this to you as like a non-alcoholic holiday drink, I don't think you'd know there was alcohol in here. That's how well the alcohol is hidden in this. And listen, 11.5% is not super high ABV for me. I like a good 13 to 17% beer. I love the Dragon's Milk. I love the Bourbon Counties. 11.5 is high, and respectably high. But, you know, like, especially when it's a company that does not focus just on high ABV beers, a lot of times that alcohol is pretty obvious. And in this case, it's not. I could see people being fooled by this. So I would definitely say this would be a dangerous beer around the holidays, because you could drink one and not realize how high the alcohol content is, because it is so flavorful and so interesting to drink. Now, I do wonder when this was bottled, but there's no indication. Now, you know, the place that I bought this from did put this large sticker over part of the bottle, and let's see, is there anything here? I got it. Pour slowly into a glass, savor at 50 degrees, and please recycle. And that's it. It doesn't say anything else. Anything else in here? 55 IBU, 12 fluid ounce. So again, is it worth checking out? Definitely. I would definitely check out this particular beer if it's available by you. Hardywood Bourbon Barrel GBS. Just don't expect a tremendous amount of that bourbon barrel to pop out, because it's just not there. I will say this. I don't think this is the perfect Christmas beer. I think this is the perfect winter beer. Like when I'm done here, I'm probably gonna go sit down by the fireplace and slowly sip this for a while. And I think it will be perfect for that exact purpose. Again, is it one that I'm gonna go look out for? And you know, would I wait online for this? Probably not. Would I get it for the holidays to share with my friends and let them give it a try? Definitely, definitely. So if you see it, depending on, you know, the time of year you see this video, depending on what you're in the mood for, if it's winter, if it's summer, you may actually want to check this out. What I want to do now is check out Hardywood Park Craft Brewery and see if they have anything else there that would be interesting. Because if they were able to put these flavors together for this particular beer, I imagine they have some other stuff that's probably pretty good. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna have one more sip of this on camera. So very odd, if you lasted this long into the video, I just got my first hint of that bourbon barrel. Way back on the back end of my tongue, just a tad of that. I got a hint of that smokiness. Is it overwhelming? No, I would say it's barely present. But you know, it's a pretty solid beer. So if you see it, I would check it out. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, throw a comment down below. If you've had anything by Hardywood Park Craft Brewery, I'd love to hear about it. And, you know, especially, I'm probably going to go right now and check out what else they have, because I think this is interesting and they sound like an interesting brewery. Otherwise, hit that like button, comment, helps the channel, and I will see you next time on another day beer review. Cheers.